Okay, it is time for Virgo. Virgo June 2025. So I'll do the numeraurical spread and we will go from there. All right, here we go. Okay, Virgo, where your head is at. Where your body's at. And the root of it all. Okay. So currently you're sitting in justice mode, feeling a bit powerful, feeling okay, balanced, heading into the beginning of June. Your head is being reflective and taking a pause, physically trying to keep things in balance and just doing the right thing. And at the heart of all this is a desire for more abundance or for forward movement. In the middle of the month, we have the Page of Cups. These guys are kind of like looking at each other and going up to here. So I'd sort of say, you're feeling in the middle of the month quite jovial, quite young and youthful and optimistic. There's lots of, fish in the sea, for example, or in your cup, and you're excited about that. You feel like you're putting in some of the hard work and that you're very optimistic with how this will pay off. The root of all of this is that you can never really be sure. You're going on your own endeavour, and it's still a mystery about what will eventuate, what will come of it. And so the middle of the month, you may not even know what you're doing, but you're still striking a hammer and you're looking into the future. Okay, at the end of the month, you're feeling quite jovial, you feel good, you've got your falcon and all your abundance and your crops. You're feeling like a bit of an empress, pre-empress vibes perhaps. And your head feels like, there is a potential for new opportunities in abundance. The root of all of this is, I'm going to say hard work, but I'm also going to say a set of guidelines or principles. Hierophant, Pope, positions of power, organized religious structures. So, if you're someone like myself who comes from was brought up with traditional religion, of a Christian variety, and this card when I was younger used to give me the heebie-jeebies. I didn't like it at all, but now that I'm sort of doing my own thing and have my own belief systems, this feels more like a synergy, a balance, a duality, perhaps my own sort of code of practice or ethics, if I were to look at the Hierophant now. So if we do a quick summary again, beginning of the month, feeling quite good. You're well rested and you're feeling optimistic. You feel like you've got most of your balance happening and it feels like, all's fair in love in the world. Middle of the month, feeling optimistic. There's still an absolute element of mystery to it, what you're working towards. You don't really know, but you keep working anyway. At the end of the month, you're feeling quite rewarded from your hard work. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we go to 9, so leading up to each other. So I would say that the end of the month, you feel quite wealthy in abundance. It can be financial, emotional, friendships, you name it, whatever you hold of value. At the end of the month, you're feeling good about it and you feel optimistic that there's absolutely new opportunities for you to pursue. And with the Hierophant, I would say that it is a spiritual alignment or a spiritual force or some kind of spiritual leader has given you some insight to sort of get you to where you are today. All right, a little bit obscure. So let's pull out the numeraurical cards and we will have a look at them. Okay, look at the numbers in common. That's just the 9s and the 8s, which is leading to completion. Okay, in the minor. Okay, here we go. Virgo for June. Can we explain Justice, Page of Cups, and the Nine of Pentacles? Okay. Okay, so for me, the two of what suit is it? It is the loving master suit, the master teacher suit. Combinations is a great card to have. It's about two. It's about combining things like onion and fish together to get a new flavor or aroma. So, and there's this sort of this light shining on this union. So perhaps this is about the balance. So you've got the two and a balance of flavors. So feeling quite balanced at the beginning of the month. The middle of the month, feeling a little bit more isolated, according to this card. Out in the cold, for me, is one of those ones where you've been ghosted or left out in the cold, or you're doing it to somebody else. It could also just mean a period of time alone. It is a 7, an 8, and a 9. So perhaps this is more about being on your own, doing your own thing. And when you're out in the cold, often you don't know why you've been ignored or excluded. So perhaps that's that element of mystery. And 7, if we look at 7s, spirituality, analytical, mystery, research. So we've still got this mystery kind of element here. There's also the mystery of what is the purpose of the fish in the cup. So I'd say that even though you feel like you're doing the hard yards, you really don't necessarily know what you're working towards, because perhaps you're operating solo. All right, and at the end of the month, we have the 4 of reflection. So that is the again, the master teacher card, that love and self-love and reflecting on what has happened. So rejoicing, I guess, could be another way to look at, reflect on how this currency has happened, reflect on this agency. Don't know why I'm getting that word. And I guess you're your own Hierophant, you're your own spiritual advisor. When you reflect and get up all in your own head, you're the person who is giving you the advice. So it looks as if beginning of the month, quite good. Preparedness, combinations, working towards a common goal. Middle of the month, a little bit of mystery element, but you're still putting in the hard yards. And at the end of the month, you start to see reap the rewards, and you need to reflect on how this currency works. Now, I'm going to definitely draw a card for the Hierophant and maybe even the Ace of Pentacles, just to get a little bit more, and also because we're only at 8 minutes, I owe you 2 minutes of the 10-minute tarot by soupsue. So can we have, actually I'll have a card for the Moon, the Hierophant, and the Ace. Okay, watery cards. Okay. So the moon and waves, I mean, they kind of go together, and they're all looking up. In this card, the waves is about rising above things. So maybe this feeling of isolation, individuality is about rising above everything else. It's also about seeing above the turbulent water. So if something feels a bit murky, maybe trying to get a higher perspective to see the forest for the trees. In relation to the Hierophant, this is also a Hierophant card, I guess, in a way. Nature's Guide, it's about going out to nature, to commune with nature, to get a perspective, to see how nature evolves or moves forward, how it lives, dives, and regenerates. So, I mean, that's also sort of a philosophy of life as well. So I would say the guide is saying, and it's a number 1, so it's the beginning of a new cycle. So, and it's sort of one unity, one entity. So I would suggest that seek some nature if you really want to get some help. But essentially, nature is your guide. How you're thinking about things is okay. And when we look towards the Ace of Pentacles, you get the digital nomad, and that's all about communication. So perhaps through email or through digital means, or through movement with performative. I feel like the word performative. So there's some kind of task to do, to realize this element of your headspace. Perhaps you need to just reflect on that so you can get to the bottom of this sort of feeling and achieve this. But definitely the Nature's Guide and the Hierophant are one and the same. They are saying internal guidance, I suppose, or moral guidance, or, trust your guts even. Though I have more specific cards for these when it's talking about trusting your gut. So I definitely say it's on an emotional level that you need. Okay, here we go. On an emotional level, you need to think about money and your understanding of it. You need to reflect about that so that you can make the most of other financial opportunities. So perhaps there's still a bit of struggle in your head space, not necessarily your physical space, but in your head space to either come to terms with these two types, as I was talking about myself. So you've got a Christian and you've got maybe nature, spirits, esoteric. And then so maybe that the root of all of this month is going to be that juxtaposition between those two ideas and thoughts and codes of practice, and reflecting on that and how that can impact or support your future prosperity. And hopefully there will be some good news about that. That would be awesome. Good luck, Virgo. I hope you have a fab month.